Afternoon, Andy.
Hello, Mick. Right, today we're at the home of the master float maker, Mick Wilkinson, and Mick's going to share some of his vast knowledge with us over the course of a few films. What we're going to look at today is a feeder setup, which is very simple, very effective. Mick's going to show us his way with the feeder. Okay, Mick?
Very simple. All we need, literally, is a link swivel, which allows us to change the feeder depending on the weight. If we're fishing up a shelf, we want more lead on it than if we're fishing on a flat bottom. It gives you versatility, allows you to change your feeder setup. Normally going down to a smaller feeder during the day, if and when the fish scale off the feed. And very simple, one of the rubber stop knot beads, and that's it. What we'll do the demonstrate it as a sliding rig, which is obviously allowed on all fisheries, and literally put the swivel on the line, put your line through the metal fine wire that the rubber beads are on, so you then trap the rubber bead on the line. Tie a nice size loop with the rubber bead on the line. It doesn't matter where at this point. I normally use 8 Pro Gold from a heavy feeder fishing in the summer because it's nigh on indestructible. Like everything, I'm not saying it's the best line, but it's a line I've got confidence in, so I stick with it. So all I've got now is the little rubber bead on a big loop. I then move the rubber bead a couple of inches from the knot of the loop, and then very simply I tie a small loop knot in the main loop itself. What this does is trap that bead within that 3-inch section of line. When the swivel slides down onto it, it kicks out as a paternoster rather than hang straight, which reduces tangles. With that length of drop, I'll put a small knot in the loop again to keep it tighter. Put your feeder on the link swivel. Attach your hook length to the bottom loop, and you're now literally ready to fish with a feeder rig. Very, very rarely tangles, slides freely, casts well because it hangs out as a paternoster boom, and it's foolproof because there's no weakness in it. Your swivel isn't sliding up and down one bit of line, it's sliding over both bits, so there's increased strength. Really simple, easy to set up, and it works. End of film. Yeah. The only parts you need for this feeder setup are a link swivel, which will allow you the flexibility to change feeder depending on the amount of food you want to put in, or depending on the type of bank you're fishing up against. If it's sloping, you'll need a heavier feeder than normal, just so it holds and doesn't roll down the far bank slope. Very important to get the lead right, but that's something we'll discuss in a later film, how to add or detract weight. So that's our link swivel, and the other constituent is one of the small rubber stop beads that I think were originally sold as float stops, but I don't think they work very well for that. But for this feeder setup, they're absolutely brilliant. All we do is put the link swivel on the line, out the way, put one rubber stop bead, and what you do with these is put the line through the wire, which acts sort of like a darning needle, and then pull, and that stop bead has now gone on the line. Pull it up the line and tie a loop. Since I can't tie a knot because I can't see. Take the rubber stop bead, pull it up the line towards the knot, but stop just short of the knot. You then tie a second loop knot in your main loop, trapping the rubber bead on the short piece of line. Trim the top of the knot off. Slide the swivel down. What happens, the swivel sits on that rubber bead but on a doubled up bit of line, so there's no chance of wear and tear, and under pressure it kicks the line out sideways, so it acts like a traditional paternoster boom. Really simple, effective, cheap, it works and it doesn't tangle. This is one of the popular Samo loop tyres. It ties two different size loops. Very easy, very simple, but the problems I see people with it are unbelievable. Hopefully this will explain how to use it easily and effectively to tie a good knot that's strong and won't let you down. Take your hook length line. In this case for me it's Antares Silk Shot. Found it a very reliable line. It suits me. There may be better lines out there. As of yet I haven't found one. Take the line, make one loop in the loop. Put your finger through the loop, twist it twice, and then pass your main loop. Can't do it out there, got to do it there. Make our loop, we twist it twice, then pass the line through. Now that looks to be an horrendously big knot. However, you put the end of the loop over the first peg, the bigger of the two pegs, the smaller over the second peg, and slowly work it and tighten it. Wetting my fingers and touching it lubricates it. You slide the first smaller peg piece of line off the peg and pull tight. What's very important is you pull both your main line and the secondary bit of line that you're going to cut off in a minute. This is a mistake most people make when they tie a knot. By pulling both, it applies pressure equally and increases the strength of the knot by something like 30%. Take the loop off the second peg, and there's your perfectly tied loop. All we've got to do now is trim away the excess line, and there's our loop tied, ready to use.